Good morning. I am Dr.A.Vinodhini, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Deakin College for Women, Vellore. Today the topic which we are going to discuss is mimicry. So what is mimicry? Mimicry is when a perfectly harmless animal resembles in its color, shape with a well-protected species, then the phenomenon is called as mimicry. It occurs when one species resembles another for its own benefit. This concept of mimicry was given by H.W. Bates in the year 1862. Usually the species which are mimicked, they are poisonous or distasteful and they have a very few natural enemies. Mimicry is widespread among butterflies and moths. It is also seen in many birds and mammals. The animals which mimic, they are called as mimetic, and the animals which are mimicked, they are called as models. So let's now see what are the various types of mimicry which are exhibited in our environment. The first type is the protective mimicry. So what is protective mimicry? So when the mimicry provides protection to the mimic, then it is called as protective mimicry. There are two types of protective mimicry, that is concealing and warning mimicry. So in concealing mimicry, the organisms either search a background that matches their color or they change their color to match the background. For example, the walking stick insects, the leaf insects or the leaf fishes, etc. In warning mimicry, harmless and non-poisonous organisms resembles to a harmful and poisonous organisms to get protection. For example, the poisonous coral snakes is mimicked by non-poisonous scarlet king snakes. Here you can see the pictures where you can see this phyllium, which is a leaf insect. It resembles the leaf. So when it is on the leaf, it is very difficult to differentiate between the insect and the leaf. Thereby it gets the protection. Here in warning mimicry you can see the non-poisonous scarlet king snake resembles exactly like poisonous coral snakes. So thereby resembling the coral snake, it is getting protection from its predators. Now next one is the aggressive mimicry. Aggressive mimicry is shown by the carnivorous animals. Aggressive mimicry is where a predator or parasitic species, they resemble non-threatening species. So by doing this aggressive mimicry, they are actually trying to gain access to the prey or the host. For example, here you can see the sea dragon, which resembles very closely to the seaweeds. So when the sea dragon is present in the seaweed, the prey or the small fishes which are approaching towards the animal, they don't know whether the sea dragon is hiding in the seaweeds, and the dragon gets easily gets to eat the fishes. So next one is the Batesian mimicry, where it is in which a species that is edible or harmless, they resemble inedible or harmful species. For example, here you can see these stingless flies or moths or beetles which are harmless, they resemble this harmful honeybee. So in this way they get protected from the predators. And another example are the snakehead caterpillars. So these are actually palatable and they mimic unpalatable models. The next one is the Mullerian mimicry, which is exactly opposite to that of the Batesian mimicry. Here it occurs when two or more distasteful or harmful or poisonous organisms, they resemble each other. For example, the monarch and viceroy butterfly, they both are very unpalatable butterflies, but they resemble each other. By doing this, they help each other in escaping from the predators. For example, if a bird eats the monarch butterfly, it automatically learns not to eat viceroy because they both resemble each other. Similarly, we can see Mullerian mimicry in many of the wasps. the color pattern, that is the yellow and the black color pattern in many of the wasps, that gives benefit to these wasps, because seeing this color pattern, anybody can say that, anybody will feel that they are dangerous. So this color pattern in all these wasps is beneficial to them, and it is an example of Mullerian mimicry. Next one is the automimicry, which is also called as intraspecific mimicry, and it occurs within a single species or within the same organism. For example, we can see the owl. So in these pygmy owls, there is false eyes on the back of the head. So actually this is the front part of the owl and there's the back part of the owl. So we can see there is a eyes, actually they are false eyes. So this presence of false eyes actually fools the predators, that and they believe that the owl is having alert, owl is already alert of their presence. So they won't approach near the owl. The next one is, example is, you can see this butterfly, actually it have a false head. That means the actual head is here, but at the back side of the butterfly body also it gives the appearance of a head. So this is helpful. Why? Because it will misdirect the predators. The other types of mimicry which are seen in our environment is sexual mimicry, where the male, generally the males, they mimic the females. For example, here in this moth, which is called as the yellow-tailed moth, generally the females are bigger when compared to the males. But the males, they try to mimic the body pattern of the females so that they can escape from the predators. Next one is the conscious mimicry. So conscious mimicry is when an animal pretends to be dead. So in nature, the predators generally don't feed on the dead organisms. So if an organism is behaving to be dead, the predators definitely will not approach them to eat. So in this way they get protected. For example, the American opossum, when they are attacked by enemy, they pose as if they are dead. Next is the egg mimicry. So when the eggs of a bird are similar in size, color and appearance to other birds, then it is called as egg mimicry. And very common example of egg mimicry is the cuckoo eggs, which closely resemble the crow eggs. The cuckoo eggs generally are placed in the crow's nest, and the cuckoo just flies away and the eggs develop in crow's nest. Next one is the chemical mimicry. The famous example of chemical mimicry is the blister beetle. The larvae of this blister beetle, they emit pheromones, sex pheromones, and these sex pheromones, they attract a bee which is called as Habropoda pallida. So when these male bees are attracted towards the sex pheromones which are emitted by these larvae they just mass over the males, and then when the male is flying towards the females or towards the nest, these larvae, they enter into the nest and they feed upon all the eggs of these bees. So that's an important example of chemical mimicry. The next example of chemical mimicry is a orchid plant or flower which emits pheromones that mimics the aphid alarum pheromones. So this will attract the hoverflies. Hoverflies will think that there is a mass of aphids. So it will come to eat the aphids, but it will be fooled because it is actually coming near the orchid flowers, and in turn it is actually transferring the pollens between the flowers. So why this mimicry should happen in the environment? It is mainly because it provides protection to the harmless and non-poisonous or eatable animals from their enemies. So in this mimicry acts as a self-defense mechanism to these harmless organisms, and thereby increases their survival rate in nature. Yeah. So today we saw what is mimicry and what are the different types of mimicry and how mimicry helps the animals for its survival. Thank you.